Okay, quick update on what's happening with Tommy. Again, it's all a bit chaotic, but this is what I understand. Okay, get that out of the way. A little don't panic mug from Warmington-on-Sea. If you ever watch the programme, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, enough of Dad's Army. Get back to Tommy. So the reality of the situation is that they're talking about moving Tommy from Wood Hill, which is a Cat B prison, to possibly Onley, which is a Cat C prison. Okay? Why is that important and why is it an issue? Well, from what I gather, what they were trying to work out in Belmarsh before he was moved from Belmarsh to Wood Hill, what they were trying to do in Belmarsh was give him that suite, if you like. It used to be called the Ian Huntley suite because obviously that scumbag was incarcerated there. That was cancelled, and as we know, Tommy was then moved unceremoniously from Belmarsh to Wood Hill. Now obviously what this is doing is messing with his head. It's like anything. If you're settled in a house, or you're settled in a flat, or you're even in a hotel, you get to a hotel, you stay there for a couple of days, you kind of get used to your surroundings, and then you move. It's not good. It's not good having your surroundings shaken up all the time. So he's now in Wood Hill. He was told while he was in Wood Hill, as far as I know, that they were going to clear out a wing, get him some exercise equipment, get him, which is really important, get him somewhere where he can prepare his food. And he was basically going to be there, and it was going to be more comfortable. Still not right, because at the end of the day, he shouldn't be in a Cat A, B or C prison because he's a Category D prisoner. It should be in an open prison where he can go home and go out and work and all that sort of stuff. And in fact, the reality is, if anything, you know, people say we shouldn't do free Tommy demos. We should do free Tommy demos, because really and truthfully, Tommy should be free and out on a tag, so he could go home and do whatever you do when you got a tag. I mean, I'm not particularly familiar with the prison system, thankfully, and I never want to be. But the reality is that Tommy should not be in a Cat B, A, B or C prison. He shouldn't be there. He should be in an open prison or at home. And he should be kept safe, and he should have access to basically make sure that he can stay safe. In other words, access to either be able to prepare his food himself, or make sure that he's got a very safe supply of food that can't be tampered with. And let's be brutally honest, these prisons have Islamists in them. They have jihadists in them. And given the chance, those jihadists will kill Tommy or do him serious harm or injury. That's the reality of the situation. Then you pile on top of that the mental torture that he's going through, because he doesn't know what's happening. He doesn't know where he's going to be from 1 week to the next. If he knew he was going to stay in Belmarsh for 9 months in that block, and he was going to get visits, and he was going to be able to prepare his own food, and he was going to have a gym, even on his own, that would be fine. Well, it wouldn't be fine, because it's never fine being on your own. But it would have been better than been given the runaround and moved from Cat A to Cat B to Cat C. I mean, is he going to go through the whole alphabet of prisons before he gets somewhere that's suitable? There's something not right about the way he's been treated. And I think the reality is that we've got to look at it and go, this is not a fair and humane way to treat someone. And it can't be good for you. Because what happens was, as soon as he got to Wood Hill, he was on the block. And he's still on the block 23 and a half hours. And he finds out they might be getting him a suite, and now there's this talk of moving him. So what do? We write to the Justice Secretary. You write to your local MP. You write to the Prime Minister. You write to the Governor of the prison. This is all email. This can all be done very, very quickly and very, very easily. And you write to the newspapers and you start lobbying. And if there's a demonstration called anywhere, as long as it's legal, as long as it's lawful, then by all means go to any demonstrations that are called. But I think on that, we've kind of got to listen to what Tommy's team is saying, what Tommy's family is saying, and act accordingly. Because what we don't want to do is do anything that's going to jeopardise any good will that Tommy has within the prison system. And again, apparently the prison officers are being okay. They're not messing him about. He's not being brutalised in the prison. But psychologically, he is being messed about because there's constantly this threat of moving. So, and again, I don't know what Tommy wants. I don't know if Tommy wants to stay in Wood Hill or he wants to go to Onley, which is Cat C. But whatever happens, he's going to end up wherever he moves to. He's going to be ending up in solitary. And is this what they're going to do? They're just going to move him and move him and move him and try and break him. And that's the concern and that's the worry. So pray for Tommy, lobby for Tommy. If protests are called, protest for Tommy. But remember, this is about keeping him safe and seeing him free. Because to me, he shouldn't be in prison for what he's done. Okay, he's been sentenced. But we all know there's early releases and all sorts of stuff going on. 40%, some people only serving 40% of the tariff. And then there's getting out on tags and going to open prisons and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot that can be done for Tommy. So, excuse me. So we've got to lobby for him, we've got to stand for him, and we've got to make sure that we don't forget that he's in prison because he's standing for truth and he's standing for me and he's standing for you. See you all soon.